So in this video we're going to look at how you retake the B site on Mirage, what kind of smokes and molotovs you can do, and how to sort of retake the site in a more team-based way rather than just trying to rush in together and hoping that you can just trade the kills. Going to be looking at some smokes and some molotovs that you can use, also just some flashes in general, which can help execute onto like the B site for a retake way. So the first thing to notice or to realise with this is that you won't have all the utility you want for a retake because you don't really get to dictate what you have, since at the start of the round you might come and throw an A ramp smoke all the time. So if you're rotating in through B, one of your players may not have that smoke. Even if it's really late in the round, you may have used a couple of smokes, couple of molotovs, and so when you're coming over to retake the site, if they come B, then you will always have all this utility. So to keep this in mind, this retake uses a moderate amount of utility, so that if you do have all the utility that you can use, like if they execute early onto the B site, then you can use all of this, but obviously you'll have to choose which smokes and which molotovs you feel are the most important ones, and obviously use those ones when you retake. So we'll start with the smokes. So the first one is up on these bricks here. If you just take your crosshair and you see this like ring around the pole, and you just take it left a bit and just throw that.
Smoke.
So we'll take a look at where that lands. It should just land here. So that just blocks vision from anyone in this area here. So if they're peeking from here, they're peeking from here, from here, from here, these sort of angles, then you can't be spotted when you're jumping out the window. So the next smoke is from this position. So you want to be standing, you don't have to be super precise, don't have to aim and stand here, but if you wanted to, you can stand next to the cereal box. But if I was doing it, I'd just come up and just be on the right of it pretty much. If you take your crosshair here and you do the right click and the left click throw, so you do like the medium throw, and you do it just aiming at the top of this box where the white strip comes up,
Smoke.
then that should just land there. And so that allows you, when you're coming out window, to not be visible from the apartments and from short, like the get right corner here. So that's the purpose of that smoke. So with those two down, it should look something like this.
Smoke. Throwing smoke.
So it allows you to get out, take immediate fights close range, and then be able to push up once the smokes fade as well, but also just to push around the smokes as well. So they act as like just walls basically, so that you can't be spotted from that area. So next we'll look at the flashes. So I mean, there aren't really set flashes, but just if the person who's throwing the smoke, it might be a good idea just to sort of run and throw flash over, just to flash anyone on the site. Also, if anyone's rotating through short, so if you got maybe your mid players coming through short, you can just throw some flashes through. He can't throw them over this building here because it gets blocked. That was a bad example, but if you throw it like that, like, it gets blocked there. This invisible wall. So when you're throwing them, you're probably gonna have to come here and just throw them like that, or off this wall like that. So just keep that in mind. But sometimes they're not very good here, so I would just recommend just throwing them over and hope you catch anyone on the side with them. So also when you're coming out, you've got this smoke here
Laying down smoke.
and this smoke here. So you're going to be wanting to take the close range fight, so you're going to need a flash for that. So whoever throws the smoke here, he just sort of wants to come up here and just throw one so it bounces off there really. It doesn't do anything special, and then you can just like turn away and then come out as it's popping, and then just instantly face this area and shoot anyone here. And at the same time have people coming out of the doorway here and killing anyone who's in this corner here, or just playing up close like this. Now for the molotovs, probably the best places the molotov that I've sort of come up with would be this area here, or the back of van, like the van area. So if you've got 2, then do these 2. If you've got 1, I would probably recommend this area here. So to do that, you just need to be in the kitchen area and just want to have the wall sort of lined up with this bit here, so you can see this back wall here. You just want to run it through it, so that bounces off that. So that'll land like that. And what that means is that the players who are coming out kitchen obviously don't have a smoke covering them anywhere, so they're just coming out. They would just be coming out dry like this, and there could be people on this angle, up on here, peeking from bench if they wanted to peek from bench. So they've got so many angles to watch, whilst everyone who's playing these angles is just watching them come out from the left, coming right, so they just hold this spot here. They're not going to be coming out from any other way, so by molotoving that off, it negates one of the angles that you have to look at. And if you have 2, then it means that you're forcing anyone on the van to either stay at this angle and hold it, because he won't be able to come back down, obviously it's going to be molotov, or he's just going to have to run away basically. So by doing that, you have these 2 angles are cleared, and then you only have to worry about a bench player or someone who's hiding on site behind the smoke, or just in cover or something like that. So that's what that molotov is for. So if you can do both, then obviously you want to throw it off here.
Throwing fire. Throwing fire.
And you want to do that when the smoke's up, because you don't want to be throwing that, because there could be an AWPer just holding this angle here, just like that, and then just pick you off whilst you're throwing the smoke, so throwing the molotov. So you want to make sure that the player who's thrown the smoke has done that and it's landed, and then you can do it. And so that's just like rotating players through the kitchen area, which is going to be the most popular way to rotate through, since it's like the safest way, since CT spawn is usually always in control of the CT, so it's always safe to rotate through kitchen and push through, rotate through CT and push kitchen. But say if you have someone who's jumped out mid and played out mid and wants to come up through short, then, or he's gone underground and gone apps, or he's rotated all the way around T-spawn and gone to B apps, then with these players I'd recommend them just sort of baiting the players who are coming into kitchen. So the kitchen players start doing their retake execute type thing. They're drawing a lot of attention, and these guys are wanting to peek out as this is all happening. So as the smokes are out and the attention's being drawn, molotovs being thrown, flashes are being thrown, then they're going to want to start peeking out and just seeing if they can pick off anyone who's busy looking towards kitchen. So say if there's these smokes down,
Laying down smoke.
and this molotov's down here, then the player may want to, the player who was holding this angle might try and jump back towards here, and might be worrying about someone coming around the smoke. So that's when you, the short player, can peek out and catch them off guard. Also, you can just throw a molotov off here if you have one to cover out this corner here, the get right corner. The same sort of applies to apps. You want to be coming in sort of late lurking type thing, coming in whilst the apps players are busy focusing on this execute. They're going to be seeing all the retake. They're going to see smokes coming down. They're going to hear flashes exploding. Going to see molotovs, and they're going to be wanting to watch these angles. Say if they might have an AWPer posted up here, just holding for just to watch the bomb type thing. But you might be holding here, seeing anyone comes around the smoke. That's when you can push out and catch them off guard. So when you're rotating through those positions, you want to be coming in late, and well, not coming in late, but coming in as this execute or this retake's coming in from your players in kitchen. That's when you want to be trying to search and peek out and try and catch anyone off guard. Quickly take them out and then join with the retake and push up and help. Now with apps, this is like the difficult part of retaking B, is the fact that the post plant tends to be for a player in apps, because the T players will tend to plant in this area here, which is safe, but also it allows for someone to be up in apps and just shoulder peek and just sort of bait the bomb type thing. So to deal with that, If you've got the extra utility, then what you can do is once you've cleared the site, you can just, and you know there's like one player left or two players left, you can probably presume they're going to be in apps, or they're going to be doing some late flank, so they're going to be coming short, or they're going to be coming around kitchen doing some crazy flank like that. So if they're probably going to be apps, so you can
Throwing
smoke it off
smoke.
this side and Molotov on this side. So the thing is with apps is that they can look through both of these windows and peek when you're like trying to tap the bomb and bait it. So there's not really a single smoke that can just completely cut it all off, or a single Molotov that can cover off the whole area. So it's probably best to smoke and Molotov, or smoke and smoke, or whatever you can do. I think smoke and Molotov is good because you can, you can smoke it here and the Molotov at the other side, and then it forces them to push through the smoke, so they're blind, and then they come through and they won't be in the right position, but they'll also be getting burnt, and then they're going to have to peek, so they're just, once they push through that smoke, they're going to die pretty much. And if you can't do this sort of thing, like smoke it, or smoke it and Molotov it, then obviously you're just going to have to take the fight with them. You can do a pot flash like this, so if you come up here and you do the middle throw, like the medium throw, so the left and right click,
Deploying
like that,
flashbang.
you can see that lands perfectly like that for a pot flash. So you do something like that and then just peek it and take the fight whilst your teammate's defusing. Force them to take this fight just from here and not kill the diffuser, so hopefully try and buy some time, or at least win the fight, and then your teammate can defuse and you win the round. So I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope you learned something from it. I personally think that retakes don't really get enough attention. They are such an important part of a round, or just the CT half in general. If you're not able to retake a bomb site, then or just effectively and cohesively with your team, then you're going to find it very difficult to get CT rounds when the Ts get bomb plants. So yeah, hope you liked the video. If you did, leave a like. If you like this sort of content, then perhaps subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.